Hi, welcome again. When we speak to someone, we get to know that speaker is angry, upset or happy. Why? Because of the tone of their voice and the choice of the words that they are making. Same thing is also applicable with email. When we read an email, we feel with what intention the email was written, whether the sender was sarcastic, rude, ordering, or maybe impolite. Let us understand how an email get its tone and how we can manage our email tone as well. Let's see what does tone of an email means. Tone in an email refers to the writer's attitude towards the reader and the subject of the content. That is, how and in what feeling the writer has written that email. Also, the tone of an email content affects the reader perception of the message. So it's not just that the writer gets to know the kind of email he has written, also the receiver understands the feeling which goes behind in writing that email. So this is what the tone of an email means. Read this email and just feel as if this email is written to you. How would you feel? Yes, as if someone is shouting at you or ordering, which is absolutely not formal. And once you read email, your mind also gets influenced with the feeling in which or through which by which this email was written. Hence, you also end up writing an email in a way which is not professional. And that's how we get impacted because of the perception of the sender. Let's look at how can we take care of our email's tone. Avoid demanding words. For example, I want the report now. Also, words which has meaning of blame in it. For example, your team did not perform. You delayed in sending reports. Don't use capital words. This means you are shouting at the receiver. Okay, so avoid using capital words. As per English grammar, only the first letter of the sentence or noun should be in caps. As we have already seen, color selection is also very important. If you choose red color, then that means you are rude on the email and you want to show your anger. So, what can be done in that case? We can highlight the important message of our email. For example, if you want to highlight, I want report as soon as possible, or I want report by 12 p.m., you can highlight by 12 p.m., and that will give a clear understanding to the receiver that it is important. You can also use italic and bold. So these are some ways through which we can highlight our email instead of using red color, and instead of writing email with rude words and capital letters. We also understood the difference between formal and informal email. So you can only use contractions, that means I will. So at times people write I and then apostrophe S and LL. So that means I will. So do not use such short forms in formal emails like can't instead of cannot, can't. So avoid such words also in your formal email. Don't use emoticons and smileys. This is not professional. Avoid doing that. Also, directly do not address people by their name. So instead of writing hi, dear, or in your greeting, you just don't have to write Sonia, I want the report now. So it looks very unprofessional, and it tells that you are rude and you are ordering and you are directly taking the name of the person and you want the things to be done. But when you work in a professional environment, in that case, there are better ways of getting our things done. Avoid directly asking questions. Where is the report? When will you send me? Right? Instead, you can use words like please provide me the report, please update me the status of something. So, this is the words that one should use. Hence, as I said, it is very important to have a proper cow. Cow does not mean cow as an animal here, it's choice of words. Stick to the words like please, sorries, thank yous, and other words as well so that you can manage the tone of your email. Now look at this email and compare it with the email that we saw before. It has proper greeting with an hi, wherein the writer has also mentioned courteous words like please, could you. So these are the words that one needs to have in their email. And they have also mentioned and requested the person to come to the cabin. Also, they have provided a reason as well, and there is a proper closing. So, this kind of email does not sound rude or as if you're ordering. Once we receive an email, we also get influenced by the writer's feeling, because of which we develop various behaviors like delay in replying. Because this person always asks everything at the very last moment, maybe. So, we kind of delay in replying. Not replying to the email with priority, or not replying at all. So, in the case wherein people are asking you for a deep any report or anything immediately, in that case you can reply them and share a timeline. Tell them this is by this time I will be able to share because I have so many work which is pending. Instead of not replying or delay in replying will not help you and will not take you anywhere. Complaints not put properly. Yes, at times what happens because of the attitude of the writer. This writer is, at times being rude to you because something has not been happening, some projects are not getting closed, or some task is not getting finished. Because of his feeling, you get influenced and you pressurize yourself instead of telling that this is something which is wrong. So, do not get influenced with the behavior of the writer again. Also, what happens when you get an email and when you see that it's not your work, maybe it is a work of your team member, in that case, you delay. So, what happens? You feel, you get a thought in your mind, this is not my work, why should I do that? But as I said, in professional environment, we need to work as a team. So, this is another mindset that comes into picture in certain cases. Also, very important one, when you are boss, when you are manager and you have a team, people are already afraid of writing an email to you, right? They think 100 times while writing an email to you, and you know that they are afraid of you in some or the other way, maybe because of your designation only. In that case, you need to be very careful while writing the email. So, do not have that mindset as well. Now look at do's and don'ts of the email. Always proofread your email before sending. Yes, most of the time we do mistake and we tend to send email in hurry. In that case, we either forget to attach attachments, or because we think fast and write slow, so we go ahead and miss on some words. So it's important to proofread. Read your emails carefully and then take actions of ignoring, replying, and forwarding. This is the most important point. At times there are emails which are not for you, at times which are email which is only for you. So you need to be very careful and see whether that email is for you or not. And if it is for you, just go ahead and reply. Use short sentences, very important. Yes, you need to use short sentences so that people will not get confused. Appreciate people for their good work and use of email. So it's very important. You can use your email for appreciating people, because this is a culture that we need to develop as a leader in the company or in the organization we are working. Reply to meeting request. Yes, most of the time we receive meeting requests and we do not reply whether we are going ahead and accepting the meeting request or denying or declining, or we want to change the time. So what I will do for you is I will tell you how to create a meeting request and how to reply to those meeting requests that you get, and we will see that. I will make a quick video on that as well. I want you to see that too. Post that people also do not use important and urgent. So it's very important, if you want some details immediately, use important and urgent. So what happens, that email gets a red tag to the receiver, gives a red tag to the receiver, and you can go ahead and get your information immediately if you put priority flag there. Of course, check your emails before sending it. Use correct grammar, most important. Now, Outlook also, shows if there is something incorrect. It also shows, or you can also simply put the sentence in the Google Google search bar, and it tells the corrections as well. Use proper signature. Yes, we have already talked about it, when to use thank you, when to use regards, and how to stick to the company's signature policy. So that's something we have to be very careful about. Also, read the trail mail. So what happens at times, most of the emails that you will receive are either forwarded or replied to many times. So it's very important that you read your emails carefully. So these are certain do's that I would like you to start following if you are giving your interviews, or if you're already a manager, and I'm sure this will help you a lot. Don'ts. Yes, there are certain don'ts that we need to understand before we could start writing our email. Avoid unnecessary forwards. Most of the time, people just do not, understand to whom to keep in to and whom to keep in CC. So, for example, if you have to thank someone, so what do people do? They reply all to that kind of emails. So, avoid doing that. As we already discussed, that we do not need to use slangs, that is local language, jargons, which are words specific to an area, and avoid smileys and abbreviations. Use BCC in professional email. We have already spoken of it, that we need to avoid blind carbon copy. Don't bring your emotions while writing an email. Yeah, we already talked about it, that we don't have to get influenced with the perception which receiver gets after reading the email. So don't get into that as well. Don't assume while writing and reading an email. Very important. What is written, that is written. That's it. Just read the words and forget about the emotions. That will help you. Don't use casual language at all. Don't order, blame, and use negative language in your email. So that's how you become more of a leader, when you show proper email communication, or any verbal communication as well. It also influences your life. So always make sure that you share your work and credit. Work as a team and just motivate others. That's what people need at this moment. Right. So till now we have understood what is tone of an email, what are the do's and don'ts that we need to have in our email. Okay. So what I want you to do is just recap everything in your mind, whatever we have done till now, so that there is a next important topic that we have, which is on special kind of emails. So that there are various emails that I have pasted, and you can see lot of things in those emails which will help you and help you in recapping as well. So please go ahead and recap everything, and please do take the next lecture. It is also beneficial. Thank you. Until then, happy learning.